Joining me on Startup Report today is Rogers Escalup, founder of Cicla out of Chile, and we're going to be talking about 3D printing. Welcome, Rogers.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
So, as I mentioned, you started. You're now in Tampa. You've just made your way up here in the last couple of days, but you were in Chile before. How did you get connected with Tampa Bay Wave for this diversity cohort?
Yeah, sure. So, well, one guy's in Chile, like another entrepreneur, told us about the Tampa Bay Wave and that it was a pretty cool experience, and you can make great connection, and you can start to work and do some business right here in the US. So we just apply. Max, which is another Chilean entrepreneur at the Wave, and myself apply, and well, they select us. Like, we are now here trying to learn how the US market works, and it's been great. And it's also great because we travel all the way down from Chile. It was kind of hard because of COVID, but it was a good flight. So we are, switching some Chilean winter for American summer, which is pretty cool for me.
And a Florida summer to boot. So have you had any immediate thoughts on the differences between the two markets just in your short time here?
Yeah, there are a lot of differences, definitely. Actually, Tampa's market, Florida's market, it's actually bigger than the entire Chilean market. Like, we have just 18 million people, and I think Tampa, there are like almost 20 million. Sorry, in the Florida.
Florida, yeah. A couple more years before Tampa gets there, but it'll get there, I'm sure. That's great. And one thing I liked about your story, so you actually are working with classmates, and they become partners in the company. Can you talk a little bit about how you formed the team and how the product came about?
Yeah, for sure. So I started this right back in 2017. I'm a mechanical engineer, and I did like an internship in the University of Maine at Orano. So I learned a lot about 3D printing and some composite materials and that stuff. So I went back to Chile, to the University of Concepcion, which is my university, and I started to did my thesis with a pretty strong, technical side of the 3D printing, but I need some like business knowledge to try to run a business. So I just started. I asked some of my classmates. They were, like pretty awesome. Like, they are actually a friend of mine. One of them is an aerospatial engineer. The other one was a mechanical engineer too. And we just started to learn about business, how to create startups, and how was the market. And we discovered that there were no companies in Chile producing 3D printing filaments, which was like pretty awesome because we were the only ones. So we just start like to try to raise some money. We have in Chile like an equity-free money from the government. So we just raised like 80K from them, which was equity-free. And after that, we start to run the company like a pretty small way. We were just three guys trying to wonder how to produce composite materials for the 3D printers. And after a year and a half, here we are.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because something I always am excited to get into the details. I neglected to even talk about what Cicla was, and it's you were making a better evolved filament for use in 3D printing. So what makes it better? What about it? From an environmental standpoint or a durability standpoint, what makes it a better input to the 3D printer?
Yeah, well, so we wondered that there were like a lot of materials for 3D printers, but the composite ones, like the advanced materials, were pretty expensive, like 3, 4, 5 times the price of a normal material, which is normally and typically PLA. So that's why the people were just trying to prototype stuff and didn't producing like final products for the different industries as automotive, aerospace, healthcare, and all of that. So we should start to try to produce like low-cost filaments, but with advanced materials with specific properties as antimicrobial materials, stronger lag materials, some pretty low-cost wood composites. So we were like two mechanical engineers and one aerospatial engineer. We were pretty close to the advanced materials and the materials engineering. So we just try to wonder how to decrease all the cost of the material. So we just start to create some mixes, different compositions using different, powders, nano copper powder, micro silver powder, wood powder, and mix this with all the plastics that you have in the 3D printing industry. And this is working really well. We already have like 2 materials on the market in industrial scale. Like we are selling tons of filaments per month of them. And we have also 2 more into the lab, like waiting for testing and that stuff. So they are like, we have some strong materials, some antimicrobial material, which was great because of COVID. And they are like, I don't know, like 30% of the market price.
So when you introduce these new elements like antimicrobial filaments, is the play there to just sell at a reduced price to the existing market, or do these different features open up entirely new uses for 3D printers that you're going after?
Yeah, they have a lot of uses in the 3D printing market. There are already antimicrobial materials right there, right out in the market, but they are pretty expensive. Like for, I don't know, less than a kilogram, you have to pay like almost $100 per filament. So people were just buying this filament when it was completely necessary, because you can get a normal filament just for $20. So that's why just people who really need it were buying this kind of filament. So we developed one with nano copper, which is also antimicrobial. We are trying to work with the FDA for get all that properties, and right here in the US we have kind of something like the FDA in Chile, and our material is already okay there. But here we are still working with that, and it's like the same properties of an expensive material, so you can use it everywhere. But it just gonna take to you like $40 per kilogram, which is less than a half of the market price. So people are starting to printing almost everything, like not just healthcare stuff, like really specific stuff. They are printing like kitchen products, some casters or stuff like that, and everything. We found cases, everything that you think could be great with an antimicrobial material, they are trying to now.
So what have become the biggest challenges then? Is it sales at this point, and you're feeling good about the products, or you still need investment to scale? What are your big hurdles now?
Yeah, so we're okay in Chile. Like we are selling, like we opened our sales last October, and at the beginning everything was hard, But by now we are having really good numbers. We are selling like tons of filaments per month, but Chile is pretty small. So if we want to sell more, we have to move on to another market. We already get like, I don't know, 20 or 30% of the Chilean market, which is a lot. And we want to move here to the US, which is a huge market. It's also pretty competitive, but we have these advanced materials. We are working on the patents, so we can sell them and split them in all the users of the 3D printers right here, starting with Tampa.
And outside of the U.S., are you targeting any other countries as good potential customers or customer base?
Yeah, sure. Well, we have some conversation with Spain. They use a lot of 3D printing filaments too, but this is smaller than the US. And after that, we want to move to the rest of Europe, like, I don't know, like Belgium and those kind of countries in that side of Europe. But the US is like 30% of the entire market.
Got it. So moving back into the company, how has it been? A lot of times when students, there's a lot of growth that you have to go through when students get together to start a company, and now you're, you have many months into it. You're having some success in sales in Chile, growing nicely. How has it been? With growing this company with people that you were previously in school with?
Yeah, well, it's pretty awesome, because they are friends. They are friends too. We are friends too, and they put a lot of energy in the work right now, and it's necessary now because of COVID. So we are not having the best time in Chile with the coronavirus. So for try to live a more safer life, we put some bedrooms in the company. So we put some beds and we just start to live there. Like we were working 16 hours per day. So it was almost all of our time. And after that, we were just eating really bad and just working all the day. So we put a gym too. So it's like our house and our company too. We have all our machines in a room, and 2 rooms from there you have your bedroom, and the other bed you have in the other bedroom. In the other room you have your gym, stuff like that. So we have showers and all that stuff. And I'm not sure if I could did that without my friends. I mean, with a normal worker, I think probably the answer was no. But with these guys, everything is running like great. They really believe in the company. They are working hard, and they are getting my back right down because I'm in Tampa. I'm still doing some home office, but they are like in the company at least 10 hours per day. So it's a pretty cool experience. You share a lot of things. You learn a lot of things. You learn about VCs, about the accelerator programs, incubators, new markets. So yeah, I'm very happy with my life choice.
That's great. And when you've gone out to raise capital, what has been most people understand it, or have you found 3D printing that things that investors aren't as comfortable with yet? Are they worried about protecting the IP on it? What's been your feedback from talking to investors?
Yeah, sure. So, well, I'm not sure if like advanced materials or 3D printing are like the most popular thing for the investors, but they are definitely one of the most interesting things into the market. So I'm trying to find some new conversations right here for start the company. But yeah, they are usually like into softwares or stuff like that, not hardwares. But some of them are really excited about the patents. Like if you can patent your materials, you can do some royalties, and that's completely scalable. So it's pretty awesome. And the Tampa Bay Waves being like really, really helpful. They have a lot of connections. We have mentors to ask about everything, literally how to pitch here in the US, why it's interesting for the investor. So this is just my 4th day, I think, here. And I'm already learning a lot. So I can't wait for the next 2 months here to try to find some advanced material investor or someone from that market, which is interesting for us.
Wonderful. I've enjoyed the conversation, and welcome to Tampa. I hope you will stay forever. It's a good place to grow a company, and we'll look forward to maybe connecting at a demo day or maybe over at Wave at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Tampa is definitely cool. I mean, I'm really happy. I love the summer and the hot weather. it's a really nice place, and the people here are actually really nice. Like everybody's friendly, everybody's quiet. I mean, at least by now.
It's a good place to call home.